Peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum. What's going on, family? Welcome. What's going on, family? DTR Podcast is in full effect. Happy Monday. New week, same goals. If you can hear me, family, drop a book emoji. Peace. If you can hear me, drop a book emoji. You know, this is an educational platform. If you can hear me, drop a book emoji. Yes, sir. Episode 6. Thank you. Episode 6 and counting. Thank you. If you can hear me, drop a book emoji. All right. All right, awesome. So a couple of housekeeping items, family. If you can, it's free. It's free 99 to subscribe to DTR 360 Books YouTube channel. It's free 99. It doesn't cost you a thing. All right, it's free 99. We're trying to get up to 500 subscribers. You know, slow progress is better than no progress, right? So let's go. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to our podcast outlets. We're on Spotify. You can follow that. We're on iHeartRadio. If you have the iHeartRadio app, we're on that. We're also on Google Podcasts. You can subscribe to that as well. And we're on Stitcher, this podcast app called Stitcher, Anchor, of course, and a couple of others as well. So any podcast outlets that you are on, you can just search DTR 360 Books and our name would come up. All right. So if you can do me that favor, shout out to the Sagittarius people as well. This is Sagittarius season. Yes. Big up to all the Sagittarius people. I myself am a Sag. All right, thank you, brother. Thank you. I myself is a Sag, so shout out to all the Sagittarius people out there. All right, this is our time. This is our season. Let's get it. All right, family. So if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, we're trying to get up to 500 subscribers. You can do us that favor, subscribe, and spread the word. Spread the word. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're trying to promote literacy. We're trying to promote, we are promoting literacy, education, and getting our people to be more enthusiastic and more excited about reading and being excited about education in general, right? Peace, brother King Simon. I think I seen the request. If you can request again, that would be great. All right, I bet I see you. We're about to get started. As I said again, slow progress is better than no progress, family. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast outlets. Subscribe also to the YouTube channel. We are trying to get up to 500 subscribers. I have no doubt that we will get up to 500 subscribers by the end of this year, inshallah. So, Brother King Simon, welcome. I'm going to do the intro real quick, and then we're about to get started.
No problem, bro. Yes, sir. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. Yes,
awesome.
Sir.
All right, let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to log into my other phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to DTR 360 Books Podcast. DTR 360 Books, we're helping to increase reading literacy. We are here to create more doers and less talkers. This is where we execute the knowledge and put it into action. Enjoy this week's episode of the podcast.
All right. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom. Hotep, Islam, Alafia, peace. What's up? What's good, family? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We made it another week. All right. This year is almost over. All right. So, hey, as I was saying before, slow progress is better than no progress. This is episode number 6. Episode number 6. I am so elated, enthusiastic, and just delighted about this episode here today, episode number 6. So before I get started again, if you're listening or if you're watching, please subscribe to the YouTube channel DTR 360 Books. All right, you can go on YouTube right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast outlets. We are on Google Podcasts, we are on Stitcher, we are on iHeartRadio, we are on Spotify, Anchor, and so much other podcast outlets. Wherever podcasts you listen to, search DTR 360 Books and our name will pop up. All right, man. So I have no other than Brother King Simon, man. I've known this brother. He's like a father figure to me. I tell him all the time. Big brother, father that I've never had. We've known each other since about 2014, so 7-8 years right now. I've learned so much from this brother, directly and indirectly. Again, as I said, I am delighted, elated, and just enthusiastic about this episode. Brother King Simon, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Most blessings.
Alhamdulillah. Man, how are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm wonderful. I'm energized, brother. I'm energized.
Yeah.
I'm on the mountain. I'm on the mountaintop. Looking
Yeah,
down.
man, you are busy you are busy this whole weekend. You was busy yesterday, right, at the event. You have
Yes.
about 2 interviews tonight. Man,
Yes.
you are busy.
And I have an interview on Saturday coming up with this Wednesday also with Happy Films and with my team, and then Saturday I have an interview with another podcaster named Khalid at a store as I'm passing through in and out of Georgia, and then I got Baba Professor James Smalls coming in.
Yeah,
So
on the 5th, right?
yeah,
December
and then
5th.
hey, we got Mama Yendez, Priestess Yendez coming in, and of course, you know, Kaba been doing that thing on DNA. I got Henrietta Lax's grandson coming in. I'll be
Wow.
interviewing Henrietta Lax's grandson, the untold story of Henrietta Lax, not the stuff that Rebecca Skloot and Oprah put up there, the real untold story. That book is powerful. People should get that book. Yeah.
Mashallah. All right, so let's get into it, brother. So can you tell the people, what was your upbringing like? What was your childhood like? What was that like?
You know, being raised in a Jamaican / Cuban / Maroon type family, because the Jamaican, my aunt, who was the historian of our family, the late great Aunt Marie, who was the historian in our family, used to tell me all the time that we come from the African Arawak and the Maroon side of the family. That she always used to kept on saying that we're from that lineage. And when she died, I interviewed her, but I lost the recording. But she broke it down, especially on my father's side and my mother's side. But she's from my father's side, so I was raised, being born here in America. I was between Jamaica and Canada and America a lot, because when the summers came up, my mother, you know, wanted to work, and when we got out of school, they wanted to send me and my sister and I to Jamaica, or they'll send my to Canada, wherever the relatives were. That's where I went, and I was raised between those areas. You know, they wanted to keep me in Jamaica when I was born. When I was born here in America, but my father didn't want to do that, although he's from Jamaica and all that.
Yeah, okay.
I understood, you know, he understood what was some of the, you know, the illusions of America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about now, but I know back then Jamaica had a good school system. So if you would have went there, you would have excelled.
Yes, it did have a good school system. And matter of fact, a lot of my relatives were writers and doctors and nurses and police officers in Jamaica. So I was, especially on my mother's side, a lot of them was highfalutin people, high, you know, midwives, nurses, and all that, coming from Cuba and Jamaica. And on my father's side, there was a Cuban and Jamaican ancestry that had the the nurses also. So yeah, they were definitely pushing education everywhere I went, and that's how I got into a lot of understanding certain things about my history.
Awesome, dope. So we are about to go into that, talking
Yeah.
about history, talking about roots, culture. How did you become conscious, brother? Because if I didn't know any better, I thought that you was conscious like straight out the womb. Like
You would say that because, being raised in a Caribbean family, predominantly is a lot of Jamaican and a lot of the Caribbean music. So reggae was a very much a part of the family house structure, especially the year I was born. My father opened up a nightclub. So he played a lot of music with Bob Marley, Dennis Brown. So I've been hearing all of that ringing through my ears, Marcia Griffin, all of that, Rita Marley, and all of them was ringing through my ears for many years, other than the R&B and all the stuff that they was playing back in those days. I was definitely hearing a lot of reggae music. My father definitely was into reggae. Up to this day, he's still alive and still plays reggae music while he's driving. He's 70-something, going almost 80 years of age. My mother listens to, where Gil Bella used to be, she listens to Jeff Barnes and all of them on New York radio. Up to this day, every Saturday morning, she turns on that radio, no matter how they the AM station, but the AM is hard to get through, but she'll still fine tune the radio just to listen. So I've been listening to that music for all my life. And so the consciousness came from that Rasta / Christian / African history, because a lot of Christianity was definitely heavy in Jamaica back in the days too.
Okay. And so how did that play on your upbringing?
Well, it did play on my upbringing because even in the midst of what was going on, whether my father and mother got divorced and all that, I still kept in contact with both sides of the family. And on one side of my family, my father's side, Grace Jones is my father's second or third cousin. The artist, Grace Jones. So, And mother's side, there's a disco diva called Susie Q, who I had the opportunity of interviewing on my show some months ago. She was a artist on my mother's side. So the artistry was always there. They always had music from that side. I used to hear the stories about the musical era and all that. And plus, my father was a DJ. And then after that, my cousin took over in the DJ. And then I took it from DJ to radio. And so I know that children are supposed to take us to the next level. So I took what my father and my cousin did. Although they never met a Dennis Brown or Bob Marley in that sense, I was able to meet Bob Marley's children because he had died before I got on radio. And I was able to meet a lot of artists because I took it to the next level. I've hosted major shows, all the major venues in New York City I've worked on, except the Barclay, because the Barclay kind of was built after I got out of that promotional retirement, got retired from that promotional stuff and wrote my book, No Promotion is Bad Promotion. So so it did affect my life a lot of stuff that, it encouraged me to get into this music business back in the day. So yeah, that was fun.
That's what's up. And yes, we are going to delve into your books because you are an author, and this is a books / educational platform. So we would definitely go into that. But before we do, brother, if I may ask, you already told us how you got into the consciousness with your family, Rasta, Christian, Jamaican, African background. So how did you get into numbers? How did you get into numerology?
Well, a lot of that in the beginning phases, although I didn't understand it, is my grandmother, who was born June the 22nd, who was married to somebody born December the 2nd. Well, she was involved. She never got married to him. That my father came out of that union. My grandfather was born December 22nd. Ironically, that both of them had this 22 energy. But yet she used to acknowledge birthdays all the time. Those that are old school know that the grandparents used to have the big ass boxes of cards for every holiday, every season. And she used to send myself or my sister or my cousins to the mailbox to make sure we mailed it on time so it could get to their house for birthdays. But she knew that one of the most important celebrations in life, without even she knowing too much of the ancient history, was a birthday or someone's name. So she always saluted birthdays and certain holidays and sent them cards for every type of thing that was going on. Even if you were Jewish and she knew you from the hospital or work in the house, she'll send you a Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah card and all that kind of stuff. So she was definitely into it. So that was that's what piqued my interest into understanding birthdays in some form or fashion.
Okay. And so it was your grandmother.
My grandmother.
Okay. So with your grandmother being, enticed with everyone's birthdays and so forth, that gave you the ignition or the motivation to push forward and delve deeper into numerology. Did you know that it was numerology or even astrology back then?
I didn't even know. Well, we was always familiar with zodiac and horoscopes and all that stuff. And I did find it a little vague in the newspaper, although I paid attention. But I could have read any one of them and it could have been pertaining to me. But the catechalists, one of the major catechalists in the numerology thing was going through the 5% nation.
Peace God. Being
called divine God, Allah, King. I had a whole long name, back in the day, out of junior high school, Martin Luther King High School, and all those type of schools I went to. Matter of fact, I got enlightened in Martin Luther King High School in Manhattan.
Well, I went there, King. Yes, Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center.
Across the street from LaGuardia.
Yeah, who else went there? Dougie Fresh was there with us.
Okay.
And Mr. G was there, the one who wrote the Dr. Sebi book.
I know. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
That's so funny.
Wow,
you went there all this time. I know you. I didn't know you went there. I went there. I got kicked out of there after I was smoking weed and got caught by security, and then got sent to my zone school, which was Erasmus. So I went to Erasmus, where I met Shaggy and Will Downing and all these other guys I went to school with. Yeah. So it's crazy. Yeah. So out of the 5%, because they was teaching the lessons in the mathematics, that's where the numbers also was encouraged. But don't forget, in the Bible, they always acknowledge numbers of Genesis and, God creating the earth in 6 days, and 7 was this and 666. So that was always piquing my interest about why these numbers kept on appearing too. But definitely when I went into 5% and they started breaking, 1 for knowledge and 2 for wisdom and 3 for understanding and so on and so forth, coming from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching, because Clarence 13X, who was born under a master number, also born February 22nd.
Right.
Yeah, masterfully was able to reach the children through the lessons of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, which is not ironic to me, because 2 + 2 + 2 = 6, and 6 deals with family, children, health, and all that kind of stuff. So I understand how he was able to get to the children and why the messenger was more towards the older folks, because being born on October the 7th, he deals with more older energy and more deeper energy. And that was able to trigger the young people to go and do what they did. And that's why people like Clarence 13X did what he did.
Wow. So we definitely about to tap into the nation. But real quick, let's go back a little bit. So you said that you was part of the 5% nation, peace to the gods and the earth. What was that process like? And how did you become to get involved in the 5% nation?
Well, I was introduced to the lessons in junior high school.
Wow. So that's like 12, 13.
Yeah, about 13, 14 years of age. Yeah, between that age there. So in junior high school, you had the gods that was there, the gods, or it was either the Zulu Nation. And I was more, especially in Manhattan, going into Martin Luther King, that's the pivotal change that I officially went and got my lessons and had to recite my lessons and all that kind of stuff and go to Parliament at Fort Greene and certain things, but because I had such a strict mother, it was hard for me to get out to go to certain places, especially when it came to Harlem and all that kind of stuff. So, you had to go here and get back here and go there and get back here before the lights came on and the street lights. You know what I'm saying? So, Jamaican mothers who would always tell my father if I did anything crazy, and I didn't want him to come and always, whoop my ass.
Right.
So, but it was definitely the 5% that piqued my interest, going through 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 36, and all the lessons, 1 to 20 and all that stuff, 120 at lessons. So definitely 5%.
Indeed. So speaking of numerology, right? What is numerology for the people who don't know? And for people who study numerology, they tend to say that astrology is similar to numerology. And I think numerology will be the foundation, and astrology is like the cousin to numerology or something like that. So can you tell us the similarities and difference between the two, astrology and numerology?
Well, if you from numerology just means the study of numbers. Astrology just means the study of the astro. I mean, that's really, it's that simple. But when it comes to let's say when you go deal with astrology, you got to deal with the houses, from some people born in the, born a sun sign. The main sign is usually the sun sign. And then you have the moons, you have the, the Venus, you have all that. It gets a little bit more intricate, but still, when you said that numerology might be the foundation, you still need a birthday and a coordinates to know the latitude and the longitude of where you was born and the birthday and time for you to find out that intricate stuff. Where in numerology, it gives you a quick bird's eye view of where you need to go to keep you to navigate. But I always suggest that people get an astrology consultation and a numerology, because once you put the numbers together, like Lloyd did, he put the numbers and the astrology together to get a fuller picture, because he always, and I always wondered also why, this sign didn't get with this sign or that kind of, and then you see marriages, like, for instance, my mother and father, one is born under the Libra sign and one is born under the Taurus. So if you deal with the elements of those two signs, you deal with air and you deal with earth. When earth and air don't really get along together, so to speak, in astrology like that. So, but think about it. But if you study the numerology of it, Taurus is connected to the number 6 and Libra is connected to the number 6. My father being born on the 25th of the month, that would congeal or connect with my mother's earth sign, and she being born on the 21st of the month would connect with his air sign, because air and fire works together, and 21 is a 3, which is a fire number, and his water number, the 25th adds up to a 7, which is a water number that would connect with her earth. So I seen the crisscross connection. Now I understand. So, say again?
Everything is interlocked and interrelated with one another.
And work. And that's why when I deal with people in sessions, I tell people all the time, how is it that all the elements of the universe can work together, but yet the elements connected to human existence doesn't work together? Because numbers in astrology is simple, can be simple, but people can be complicated because of their background. That's why my book, of course, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, directly delve right into the numbers. I touch on the astrology, but I dive directly into the numbers to let you know that there is problems because of how they was raised. Although I can say 1 + 1 = 2 or 2 + 3 = 5, that's simple. But when you deal with the energies connected to human existence and then what has happened in their life over time, that's where problems can arise, because some of us bring our problems into what's going on in our relationship, and then it creates more problems if you don't learn to heal from it. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, it gets deep. It gets
Okay. So speaking of numerology, you said it's just simply put, it's the study of numbers. So
numerology, biology, zoology, anything with an ology behind it is just the study of it.
Gotcha.
So any form of studying mathematics or numbers in any capacity, whether it's spiritual or physical, is numerology. You know that astrology and astronomy was one and the same in one period of time before they separated it. About 500 to 600 years, it was one together. Because they understood, those people of that time, the Galileos and all those guys understood the connection between human existence and the universe. But they got it separate. They separated over time. And a great scholar in this day and time who's still alive, he has a website called Unlocking Astrology. His name is Samuel F. Reynolds. Very good brother to study and research or interview on your channel. And, if you want to, I'll hit him up and tell him but he's good at breaking that down or show what happened and what was the separation through religion and all that stuff. Yes, sir.
Wow. Astrology and astronomy. Woo!
Astronomy was one thing, because remember that you're still studying the astral bodies, but astronomy is more of the scientific understanding and observing the astral bodies. But when you start connecting and realizing that all the elements in the universe, like Kaba Hiawatha would say, like Grace, all the elements in the universe is connected to the human being. We all part of this elemental thing. So we just need to learn how to find its connections and how to use it to make it benefit, and why the planetary embodiments are connected to each one of us. It's just that the Europeans have taken it from, because if Dr. Ben, who been on Lloyd Strayhorn's show, and Ashwa Kwesi can come on my show and said that they took it from the walls of Kemet. I don't call it a white man's astrology or white man's numerology. If they could take numbers and take astronomy and astrology from off the walls of Kemet and bring it to us, then something is up. Because I know in the nation, you know, the messenger always used to talk about white man's astrology. The white man, they was against that, and most religions are against that. But in reality, when you now discover that the dendra, I forgot how you pronounce it, is that wall, that big ceiling that they have of the astrological movements and the planets and astrology, then it's ours. It's not theirs. They just flipped it and made it theirs. That's all.
Right. Just like they do every other information.
Everything else. Everything. I'll drink it.
Yes. Coincidentally, in school, I'm actually teaching my students about astronomy now. Today was the first lesson, and you know, we learning about the sun, a sun being a star, and you know, a sun is made up of gas, oxygen.
So it's a human body made up of gas and oxygen. You got a solar plexus.
Right.
I mean, we got to attention.
Solar system. Yeah. Right. So, so my question is numerology, right? Speaking on numerology, who created numerology? I've heard in some instances it was the original Aboriginal woman, or in some instances it was the Aboriginal man. Who created numbers in numerology?
What's so interesting, I've heard Baba Kaba speak about why would a man need to count and all that stuff. I heard that, but because I go back to the Quran, because the Quran has some scientific basis on certain things too. If you understand what it is, if we're created from one cell, according to the Quran, we're created from that one cell, made two, then that all came about as one thing. We both needed the counting system. It's just that women needed for what they had to use it for, and men needed to use it for what they had to use it for, as far as computation or counting certain things. So both of us had the counting system. It's just that women had to pay attention to their cycles a little bit more, especially during pregnancy and all that. But we all had a counting system. We all knew how to compute, even in rural areas where you're getting attacked by multiple animals or one animal. You got to think, the mind calculates what's going on. If it's one, you deal with that one accordingly. If it's multiple, then their mind has to go to deal with the count. All right, I got this amount of animals I got to deal with. So it's already there. And if it's a part of the divine essence of the quote unquote creative force, both of us came from that creative force and was split. And the functions, the gender denotes function right here. And that's why we call it male and female. But we all had our job to do, or how our use of number. Kaba is not wrong, and I'm not wrong. It's just perspectives. That's all. So both of us came out of us together.
Right. And so there's no wrong answer, basically.
No, no wrong answer. It came out of both of us. I'm not going to just give it to the women and not make sure that the balance is there. We got to deal with the balance. Stop playing. We got to stop playing with this.
Right, right.
You know, I was even reading something on Sheikh Anta Diab's book about Africa, and he was speaking about the quote unquote Amazons. He said even the quote unquote so-called African Amazon, the Dahomey tribe, they understood the balance of male and female energy. It wasn't just one woman just ruling that country, ruling. It was a balance. Even if you understand that women rule the spiritual government and men rule the physical government. It's a balance. We gotta. That's why women's intuition can be a little stronger than men, but men's strength and physical intuition can be a little stronger than women. We gotta pick up on that.
Right.
And we gotta study that. And I study, and I don't stop studying. That's why I'm always a student. And you know, when you go to my classes, I don't call you a student, I call you a participant, because we're sharing knowledge. We're participating in information with each other.
Yes.
Even if I don't know, you tell me. And if I know, and I'll study. I'll say, yo, let's go study it. Let's make it happen.
Yes,
That's how it is.
And as they say, mathematics is life, and life is mathematics.
Yeah, like, and in Nation of Islam, they used to say Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. But if Islam is mathematics and Islam is life, then of course you connect that life. That's what they're trying to say. Life is mathematics. It's the same. Because that's a way of. That's a way of.
So, beloved, your first book, No Promotion is Bad Promotion. Just spell my name right. Why did you name your first book, No Promotion is Bad Promotion? Yes, sir.
You know, bang. I know, right? That book came out of my promotional life. It's a motivational book to introduce people to my world of promotion, from the things that I did from young all the way to really my professional life in promotion, from SOBs, dealing with SOBs. But before that, I was doing all kinds of different, remember, SOBs was in 95. That's when I got the SOBs job. But I was doing promotion in the nation. I was doing promotion for Khalid Muhammad. We was doing lectures in Canada. We was doing I did promotion for Imam Isa, Dr. York back in the day. So I did all kinds of promotion, all that kind of stuff. I did all of that in every community that I went. I was always gravitated to the entertainment side or the promotional side. And sure enough, that's what I wrote about the book. And when I finished the club life thing, because you know you was in the club, you understood that. When I finished the club life thing, since I wasn't gonna make no money on it, I said, let me write about it and see if I can help people to understand why no promotion is bad promotion. And then when I remixed it, I said, and all publicity is good publicity, just spell my name right. Because I got those two quotes. No promotion is bad promotion is from Frankie Crocker. And all publicity is good publicity is from the one, the only Eazy-E from the Compton movement. So that's why I took it from those two people, which one is born September 7th, Eazy-E, and my brother Frankie Crocker, who I definitely met and was a judge. He was one of my judges. He was born December the 18th. Two great people. I never met Eazy-E, but I met Frankie Crocker. And that was, and listening to him back in the day stimulated a lot. And that was a quote that he said when he was accused of payola and all that madness. So he always said, look, no promotion is bad promotion, just spell my name right. He's a number 9. He gonna say what he mean and mean what he say. That's how he moves.
Right.
God, I understand. You know what I'm saying? And with Eazy-E, he's seen the deeper meaning of what they was doing to his CDs and DVDs back in those days when they started to smash all their music and all that. He said, no promotion is bad. He said they bought it. All publicity is good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deeper meaning, because that 7 deals with a deeper understanding, looking at it. So that's how that's how I look at numbers. I look at it from multiple levels and multiple ways.
Cool. So let's go into your second book.
Yes,
Numbers
sir.
are simple, people are complicated. Right?
You got the right version. You got the old school version. All right.
One. This one is.
You got the one. You got the into the one.
Well, as you can see, I still got my notes and everything on it. I still got my notes. I don't play.
That's the one that I published before I gave it over to Dr. Africa. These 2 books and the other book, the children's book, I gave to Dr. Africa, and he published it for me. So anytime you support these books nowadays, and the children's book, I don't have the children's book with me, but anytime you support those books, you're supporting the legacy of Dr. Africa also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I've always been a supporter of you, brother. I want to read something on page 48, dealing with master numbers. It says, master numbers, their strengths and weaknesses. According to dear friend and numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, author of Numbers in You, which I also sell on my website, DTR360books.com, he states, there are basically 2 master numbers, 11 and 22. These numbers under modern numerology possess certain powers and should never be reduced to the single numbers 2 or 4. Persons born on the 11th and 22nd of any month possess the qualities of leadership and inspiration. Second paragraph, you said, I agree with the above statement, but the interesting thing about people connected with master numbers is that many of them don't realize their potential and unknowingly revert to the single digit of their master number. For example, being born on 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2, or being born on the 22nd of any month, 2 plus 6 equals 4. Now, can you go deeper into the master numbers? And basically, are you saying that the master numbers 11 and 22 are the positives, and if you revert to the single digit, 2 and 4 are the negatives?
No, see, first of all, you got to understand, we connect positive and negative out of how we live in this realm, because remember, positive and negative is the same energy, just two different extremes. I like to say high and low because it's not that the lower energy of the master numbers are negative. It's just that we as numerologists, or I as a numerovator, will try to encourage the person that holds the number 22 or number 11 and try to live up to its highest standard, because that number will propel you into success in certain areas. It will propel you to higher knowledge in certain perspective. And the only reason that it's a master number is because of the doubling of the number. So although basic numerology, like Lloyd said in his books, is 11 and 22, because those are the two calendar dates that you see on a calendar. You don't see 33, 44, 55. You understand? So it's not that positive. You got people that's born on the 2 that are also highly positive or highly sensitive or highly intuitive, but they could also go to the lower factor of that number 2, just like you can go in the 11 and the 22 and go to the higher or the lower factor of the number 22 or the 11. But I tell people all the time, with great power comes great responsibility. And when you hold and wield numbers like the 11 or the 22, or you're born on the 29th, which equals the 11, or you have 33 or 44 or 55 or 66 or 77 or 88 or 99 in any of your charts through your name or whatever, you got to be very cognizant of handling an energy like that, because it's like handling a hot wire and not knowing what to do with that hot wire. You could shock yourself, or you can use it to connect what you need to connect to move forward. So the lower octave of the master number 22 is the 4, which still deals with the foundation of building and structure. But when you put the 22 to it, it's a master builder now. It's the master architect. And it's not just being an architect on a physical perspective. Because the 2 is an intuitive number, the architect is also a spiritual thing, because you're building your spirituality to manifest yourself physically. Gotta understand that. Now, when you deal with the master number 11, it is based off the 2 number, the number 1. 1 is the assertive fire number. It's also an intuitive fire number. But if you don't use it wisely, because it adds up to the 11, which deals with spiritual teachings, spiritual understandings, and spiritual depth, you got to find and work with the spiritual teachings within yourself and help to manifest, because master number 11 is also known as the fame and fortune number, if you appropriately and correctly. But if you slash it down to the number 2, then more than likely you're going to be falling under being either a companion or a loving partner or supportive partner, constantly supporting. And that's why a lot of master numbers go through a lot of issues with family, with a lot of relationships, because a lot of people don't understand their master number, and sometimes they don't understand their master numbers. That's why I said in the book, because to me, master numbers are like the phoenix, or like the eagle, or like the falcons. Notice I said birds, or mentioned these type of birds that are strong or known for power. I didn't say chicken. So when you are going towards the higher level of any master number, I'm telling you to strive to be like that power bird, that eagle that can see 6 miles away and before it gets to its prey, and it spreads its wings 6 feet apart. Its wings are that flying out. So I'm telling the master numbers that you need to be an eagle, and don't let the chicken mentality of people bring you down to a level. That's what I'm trying to show people when I do my numerovation with people and give them numerovational guidance. That's why I don't do just numerology. It's about using the numbers to motivate you so you can activate it and maximize your numbers to your best abilities.
Wow, awesome. So speaking of master numbers, today is November 29th. 2 and 9 equals 11. So people born on this day will be considered a master number?
Mm-hmm. because of the 2 and 9. Because when you start breaking it down, it becomes a 2 and 9. Yes, they would be a master number, considered a master. Like today, Chadwick Boseman was born. Today, Don Cheadle was born. People born on the 29th, like Oprah Winfrey was born on the 29th. Maz, Dr. Sabi's wife that was there with the healing with him, was born on the 29th. Tony Robbins was born on the 29th of February. You know what I'm saying? People like, I said Chadwick Boseman, but, great people that if you pay attention to those born on the 29th have done. Look at Oprah. Oprah's a billionaire doing what she did. You know what I'm saying? People are not even thinking about that. So I tell people all the time, when you're in that master number energy of a day like this, and let me be clear to everybody, I'm one of those people that look at numerology and numbers as a holistic perspective. So even a day like this, anyone born under any number can use this day if they understand the interpretation of this day. First of all, the negative or the low frequency of the number 29 is don't be a walking contradiction. Don't be deceptive, or don't let people deceive you. And also pay attention to the spirit guide, because 2 + 9 = 11, and 11 is the spiritual guidance that you got to look within yourself to bring out what you have to bring. So use the interpretation of the number of this day for I don't care what day you're born. It's just that it's stronger with those born on the number 11 or the 29th of the month or the number 2. This day is probably a little stronger for them if they use it accordingly. That's all.
Okay.
Real simple.
Okay. Because the numbers connect more to certain people belonging on certain numerical dates of the month.
Exactly. Numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves, brother.
Let's go deeper. So you kind of hit the point with 2 and 9 being a master number and looking inside yourself to bring out the best in you. Let's go deeper. Let's add the year 2021. And if we add 11/29, today's date, plus the year 2021, we end up with the number 9.
Right.
For today, universal number or universal day, I'm not sure how exactly you call it. But today is a 9 universal number. What do you need? Break that down for the family.
Well, if it's somebody that's born on this particular day, let's deal with the personal year for the person born under this day, November 29th, 2000. Anytime you're looking for the personal year in an individual, you yourself out there, instead of adding the year you were born, you add the year that we're in. So if you want to find out what you want to do in the future or what you may have been going through in the past, you just add that year too. So this year, for the person born on this year and this day and this month, this would be a personal year for them. So I would encourage people that's born under this day, month, and year, or connected to this personal year, that this is a year of completion. This is a year of finishing, fulfilling your dreams and your goals, and getting ready for the new beginning year coming up in 2022, because it's about detoxification and removal of people, places, and things that no longer serve your highest and wisest purpose. So 9 is a detoxification number also, because 9 is a cleansing and a completion number. Whether you're completing a relationship, whether you're completing a job, whatever you're doing, when you reach a 9 personal year, you're going to make certain decisions. Now, if it's relationship, you might complete a relationship, but because 9 is also the number of higher thought patterns, higher love, higher peace, you could either be reconsummating your love and your relationship for that person. And so there's a duality in the
number as well. It's a humanitarian number as well.
Humanitarian number. That's why higher love, higher peace, humanitarian. It is a number of humanitarian, because remember, 9 engulfs and takes in all of the numbers that came after it. So it takes in all of the energy from 1 all the way to 9, except 0. 0 and 9 is very synonymous with power to a certain extent. It's just that all numbers come out of the 0.
So 0 will be considered a female number, or has the female energy.
It has the female womb energy, but many people I remember, and that's why I look at everything, it can be considered androgynous.
Meaning?
It comes with the both energy coming out of it. Both male and female is coming out. All the numbers are male and female coming out of it too. So it can be an androgynous energy also. But predominantly the 0 is reflected on the physical realm as a womb, something coming out of it. But it gets powerful. It gets deep. Gets deep. I've been studying books with what Nikola Tesla's been saying. I've been studying what Einstein. I'm about to order this book by Einstein by Sylvester Gates, who was born December 15, another Sag, who's a scientist. He's a string theory scientist. And I get into those type of books, man, so I can make my numerovation better to serve people.
Let's go deeper, brother. So let's speak on the year to come. You said that numbers can predict the future in some sense.
Yeah.
So next year will be 2022.
Right.
Tell us about that year. That year adds up to number 6. So tell us about that year and what can we look forward to in the year 2022.
Well, let me clarify with people. Numerology is not psychic. It's not being psychic. It's just that it's such a deeply spiritual applied mathematics that it will seem like it's psychic. So many and I know that I've done a session with the quote unquote California psychics, and then I recognized her language, and then I had to ask her in the questioning time. I said, "Ma'am, are you using a form of numerology?" And she said, "Yes, I'm using the Kabbalah." Duh. She's also using numbers because numbers can verify and clarify also what spiritual readings are doing, what tarot readers are doing, what astrology is doing. So if you know it's right and exact, if you go to an astrologer and you go and do a session with them, then you do one with me or Lloyd Strayhorn, and then we clarify what it says, we backing up each other. They all back each other. I don't care where you're coming. You could be coming from I Ching. And I remember doing a session at an event, and a friend of mine was doing the tarot, and she was doing the pendulum reading of the person. Come to find out he had heart issues, boom, 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 back. He come to me a half an hour later. I looked at his numbers. Yes, it's hard. He has to look for his heart. He has to deal with his heart, boom, 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 boom. He said, yo, she said the same thing. She's across the room. She said the same thing about me, about the heart. So I was like, ooh. I said, that's deep. So getting into the year that we got coming in, the 2022, I'm very conscious of a year like that because, yes, you said it adds up to the 6, but I always, holistically,
yes, sir.
I look at the 20, I look at the 22, I look at the 222, I look at the 6.
Okay.
I got to look at it from a holistic perspective. Thanks to Dr. Africa, because he taught us African holistic health. He told me when he published this book, always look at things from a holistic perspective. Look at the duality. And so I look at the 20, which we've been in the 20 energy since the quote unquote under the Gregorian calendar for the 20 energy since the year 2000. So it became more sensitive. That's why a lot of sensitivity has been coming out and still climbing the ladder. We're only 22 years of this. We ain't finished.
Right.
More is coming out where they're allowing certain sexual acts to happen. I won't be surprised if they allow pedophilia to come in. I won't be surprised on the negative of that number 2 because it's getting emotional and people are revealing their highly emotional and sensitivity self because it deals with the number 2 or the 20 deals with relationship, but it also deals with awareness, judgment, and some great thing that's supposed to come out. Just like 20/20 vision, you're supposed to be seeing clearly. When it was 2020, that year showed us we had to be clear and reset and deal what we had, see clearly what's going on. But now that we're going into 20, I'm looking at the 20, I'm looking at the 22, which is a master number of builder and healer. But it also says don't become naive to what's going on around you on a spiritual sense and a physical sense, because that's still the master builder. And you got to look at that number from the master builder aspect. Then when you see the 2022, when you see 222, that's a quote unquote angel number. And I'm writing a new book called The Numerovational Angles of Life, because angel and angles is the same word. It's just been mixed up. So understanding the angles and the point that you're going to reach and what angle you decide to take in life, because you're the point right here and you deciding which angle you take. That's why I'm creating the Numerovational Angles of Life that's coming out in 2022. dealing with so-called angel numbers and synchronicity numbers. So because we're going into the 2222, that is recognizing, that is telling all of us to be not only heighten our spiritual awareness because of the 2, and you got 3 2s showing up.
Right.
There's a 0 in between it because 0 adds higher potential and exponential high potential to take it to the next level. Pay attention, because anytime you see 2 2s and then you got 0 in the midst of it, 0 is that booster energy, because it's either it could go 0, it could go one way counterclockwise, or it can go clockwise, positive or negative, or high and low. That's why I tell people, don't be afraid, but yet find balance, because 222 adds up to the number 6 that deals with balance, harmony, finding truth, justice, ma'at, forgiveness for yourself as well as others going into it, and deal with family. Find out how to find balance with family, or learn to heal. Even if you can't talk to them at that time, heal within yourself going into this. And because 6 deals with a health, is one of the major health numbers, they got to pay attention to the congestion. They got to pay attention to their lungs. They got to pay attention to their blood. They got to pay attention to their sinuses. Everything that we've been going on with this Delta virus and the so-called COVID virus, that happened in the 2019, going strongly in 2020, which is a health number. 2 + 2 = 4. All even numbers are health numbers. That means we have to look out for our health in these even number years. See, for 2021, it's been a 5 year, so everybody started freeing up and not knowing that they're preparing for another one. They're trying to prepare for something else. But I want y'all to stay on a high level, because even the Delta adds up to a number 6 in one system of numerology, and then a number 8 in another system of numerology, which are 2 health numbers. All even numbers are health numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? You got to appreciate you, and appreciate and be grateful for what you got, and that you're still alive to do your work in this world. When you got those masters of those healing numbers that pop up, and then this new one that they call the Omicron, that adds up to the number 6 in one system of numerology, and it adds up to the number 11, number 2 in another system. 2 health numbers again. So what are they trying to tell you, that what they're trying to come with again? Yeah, numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. But I tell people, don't be frightened. Be prepared. Be prepared with your health. Be prepared with your mind. Don't get caught up in the distractions, because again, the 222 2022 is all about the healing, the balance that you have to find, not only spiritually, but also physically, mentally, and body-wise. It's not about getting the quote unquote injection or getting the Jabberwocky. It's about jabbing yourself with a good immune system, doing the necessary workout and doing the necessary thing to take care of your health going into these cycles. Pay attention. That's what you got to look out for. But it's also, because it's a highly spiritual level cycle that we're going into, we're also going into finding a harmony within ourselves, as well as those around us, family, friends, jobs, whatever. And there's going to be people that's going to be indifferent. There's going to be people that is going to lead them to mental discourse and mental issues also, because I'm looking at 22 still there. And remember, in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, the number 4, 22 = 4, is one of the major mental health numbers in my book.
You said 22 and 4?
Remember, 22 = 4. So right. That's the major, 4 is one of the major health numbers in my book. 2 is the emotional. So anything that triggers the emotion from the 22 energy can lead to major health issues if you're not careful. And guess who coined the saying, a mind is a terrible thing to waste? And he was over the United Negro College Fund. His name was Dr. Arthur Fletcher, and he was born December 22nd.
Wow.
Go figure, how would somebody born connected to the 22 and the 4 say something about the mind? And how is, and I'm going back to the mind again, because there's the father of modern day psychology was a person named Benjamin. His name was Benjamin. His last name was Benjamin. His first name, I forgot his first name, but his name was Benjamin. He was born January the 4th. Number 4, psychology, mental stuff, studying the psychology. He was and this asshole, or European, had the nerve. How he treated mental health is by torturing people. How does that work? This is stuff. His name was Benjamin Rush. Benjamin Rush, it came to me. Benjamin Rush, you can look it up. He's born January the 4th. And he was the father of modern day psychology. And he used to treat people by doing torturous things to try to get this thing out of them, this mental health out of them. I'm like, really? It caused more problems than ever, especially here in America. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. I could keep on going. Yeah.
So family, you heard it. The year 2022, next year, make sure that you take care of your health. Make sure that you take care of your spiritual well-being, physically, emotionally, and otherwise. And it will be another year of health issues. It will be another year of family issues. It will be another year of mental issues. So, making sure that you balance yourself and you take care of yourself. All right. Shout out to Queen of Four. She wrote the book "And Heal Thyself." She wrote the book "Sacred Woman." Taking care of yourself, healing yourself, okay, so that you can build your immune system, so that you can, do the things necessary for you to have longevity in life.
That's
so,
right.
I just want to pinpoint your new book because we are running out of time, and I want to say a piece on the Nation of Islam. But your latest book, titled "Numerovation for Mental Stability." You said that the number 6 is a help number. The number 4 is a help number. I don't think you said it, but the number 7 is also not a help number, but a mental number as well.
It's a mental number, but it's also most of the odd numbers are transitional numbers. So if you are in a health cycle and you didn't take care of your health cycle, or at least found balance in it, it can be a transitory cycle when it reaches those numbers, those odd numbers, because odd situations can happen where people might die or they might get sicker or whatever. You start seeing that. I remember my brother Chadwick Bosman doing a session for him, and it was a brief session. We was at the dojo, and my teacher he got my book and everything. He got the one you got, the white one. He got that book from me, and they asked me, yo, my professor, Professor Bill McLeod over there, Sanukas Rue, Jiu-Jitsu, MS USA, Martial Arts USA, he said, yo, King Simon, drop it for him real quick. He told me his birthday, and I started running things down, and I talked about his stomach and how he got to pay attention to people around him and all that kind of stuff, and be careful of his stomach and colon area. He dies of colon cancer. Go figure. And I did this for him in October of 2016, and he was diagnosed with it in 2016. Diagnosed with it, the stage 3 or stage 4 cancer. You know what I'm saying? And he was born the 29th. Again, that's dealing with stomach and health. When you're going to breaking it down to the number 2, it still deals with digestive areas, the stomach area, and all that kind of stuff. That's why I was able to pinpoint it just by looking at his numbers. Yes,
sir. And where can the people go for your books, Brother King Simon?
They can go to my IG. They can go straight to my Linktree. That's King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator on Linktree, and you'll see all 4 of my publications. I have No Promotion is Bad. Promotion was my first one. My second one was Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. My third one was Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important. I don't have that book, but I have, and my last book is Numerovation for Mental Stability, a numerovational guide for recognizing mental stability and instability and staying motivated. And also, I want to thank everybody that supported this book, because myself, Lloyd Strayhorn's book is ranked amongst the 100 best numerology books in the world. Matter of fact, I'm ranked number 30 with this book. Is ranked number 30. Lloyd, of course, he's been around since his book, the Orange Book, is ranked number 8. And his other book is ranked number 32. But I know this one, Numerovation, is climbing the chart. I know something's about to happen with this one. So people have been looking for mental health and how to be motivated. And that's been a very pivotal part of motivation. That's why I put that book out specifically in 2020. That book was because of dealing with mental health. And this next book that I'm coming with, the quick, fast way of understanding the angles of life that you could take. I'm going to give the high and the low and the complacency that you can live. Because when some people get comfortable, and remember, we was taught comfort is the enemy of progress. So my next book that's coming out in 2022, which is going to be published by Forbidden Knowledge TV, Forbidden Knowledge publication this time. I'm going to be working with Billy Carson on that one, and I'm going to put that out because it's called The Numerovational Angles of Life. What angles you could take understanding your numbers. From a very brief, it's going to be like an angel numbers book, but I'm going to give you not just the positive, I got to give you the lower energy and the balance of what can take place if you don't go this way or that way. I got to give you the 0.0. Yeah.
Good. Sir,
Yes.
so as for your IG, if you click the down arrow, you can see his IG, but it's King Assignment _ Productions with an S at the end.
Yeah.
That is his IG. So now, real quick, brother. So I want to talk about the Nation of Islam, because I know when you was in the Nation of Islam, it's very well, it's a bit different with the Nation of Islam of today. So how was the Nation of Islam when you was in it? And give me, if you can, 2 things that you learned while you was in the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and student minister, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with him.
Man. Whew, man, there's a lot to unfold, but that combination, that team right there was very similar to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Yeah, very similar. And matter of fact, all of that transpired 30 years later. Dr. Khalid broke it down on YouTube. Dr. Khalid brought it down in one of my lectures and stuff that I produced for him in Canada and stuff that I've done security for him. He broke down the same walk was very similar to the date. That was very similar, the whole expelling and all that kind of stuff. So what I learned is that I will tell people that need to go through that school, go to that school. If that's the school you need to go to, because they're all schools. But when it's time to grow and take it to the next level, if you have to leave because you took all you had to take from there, like I've taken all that I have taken. I'm never gonna disrespect the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all the lessons that I've learned between. And Khalid never really disrespected the teachings of the messenger either, to tell you the truth. If you really take it in. He may have went to another organization, but he brought that whole energy that he grew up with to that. And I bring the discipline and the security mindset to wherever I go, especially, when I do events and all that kind of stuff. I'm always on the look. One thing I always remember in the Nation between Dr. Khalid and Farrakhan is always use and apply your general orders. And your general orders is a 1 to 12 breakdown of certain things, taking charge of your post in all temple property review, walk your post in a perfect manner, being always on the alert. Your post is the world outside of your house and in your house, always being alert. So if you see my eyes, my ex-wife used to hate this because we'll be in a restaurant and my eyes are still scoping. I'm not looking at women, I'm watching your back. I'm always watching your back, because I don't know what can happen. I've been in situations where I've got attacked by knives, I got attacked by guns, I got attacked by cars. I've had to deal with it because of the training in the Nation, especially through Khalid and Minister Farrakhan and the FOI. It helped save my life to the day. I've been almost ran over by cars, and if I didn't know how to do a flying rollout and dive and land, because Dr. Powell taught his students who taught me how to land, not just fall, because the floor will let you know if you fell wrong or not. If you hit the floor wrong, that's your backside. So you learn how to fall and roll out in Sanukas Rue, Jiu-Jitsu, and under those type of trainings and teachings. So thanks to those GM Anthony, Professor Bill, all the great ones in the Nation that trained me under Khalid and everybody else. And Malcolm X was the one that set the FOI in motion, to tell you the truth. The military wasn't fully put in place until he and the messenger discussed it. Malcolm made it happen, because Malcolm was the mouthpiece. You can't doubt that. The messenger was more refined and quiet and just doing, but Malcolm was the mouthpiece. Khalid was Khalid, under Khalid, he was one of the most resilient and one of the most powerful ministers under Minister Farrakhan. And Minister Farrakhan would have said it himself. He called him the Black Stallion. And he was a stallion you just could not hold. He's just one of those people, man. It's just Khalid. He born January 12th, so I understood. He hard-headed, and he just had to get into a lot of controversy with that number 3 energy. Lord have mercy.
Yes. So real quick, can you tell us something that the majority of the family may not know about Dr. Khalid Muhammad?
A lot of people don't know he has 7 children. You know, a lot of people don't know that from different wives, but he was always married, of course. And, you know, one thing, I just spoke to his son, Farrah Gray, the other day, who's a friend of mine. I called him for and everything. And one thing a lot of people don't know is that as much as people want Farrah Gray to be like his father didn't want him to be like him. His father, because not in the sense of not loving black people, because Farrah loved black people, but Farrah always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yes, from young. Yes.
Young, he always said he was going to be an entrepreneur. And I remember that because he used to come to me and ask me for my coins, my old coins, and because he was about that entrepreneur. So his father let him grow up in that, and he would come to him and do security for him and be around him at certain times. But at the end of the day, he wanted Farrah to be, and he's done much more for young people that y'all don't know behind the scenes. He established businesses for young people. He helped encourage young people. He goes to the children, and like he told me himself, not Dr. Khalid, but Farrah Gray. Farrah Gray said to himself, he said, the messenger taught the nation that the battle is on all levels. Let him do his part. Let that young man do his part. No matter how y'all see him and whatever. I've had him on my YouTube channel, King Simon Presents.
Yeah, I see.
Go check out what he said. And believe me, he is his father's child. Definitely his father's child. He's just doing what he does. Because not all my children are going to be like me. They are not going to get into numbers and all that. Not all your children going to be like you, bro. You just throw it out there.
Speaking of children, you outdid Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Dr. Khalid has 7 children. How much you got? 10?
I got 9 children and 11 grandchildren. About to have a 12th grandchild in February.
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
So, yeah. So my sons, they study. My sons and daughters, they all got my books, and one of them gonna surge out of it, but I know the grandchildren gonna take it to the next level because I can see it in their eyes that they're old souls coming to do some great work. You know, that's what.
Yes. So we are at the.
One of my friends on there for that I know for years said 10. I don't know, like as if she gave me the 10th one, she better stop playing. I always say 10, because that's my number. But 9 is also one of my numbers, also in numerology. So.
Right.
So, Katrina, big up to Katrina all the time.
Brother, would you be able to do, I'll say, about 1 or 2 person's birthday if they put it in the chat?
Well, I'm got to get ready for this next interview, so I want to make sure I got to do what I got to prepare. I got to set up and everything, so that's coming up.
All right. Cool. So later, be sure.
I mean, let's deal with you. you in a critical cycle right now before your birthday. Shoot, let's deal with you.
Yeah, I already know what I need to do, brother.
Okay. Hey, all right.
I need to stay by myself, right? I need to stay by myself. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Also continue to eat healthy, continue to drink a lot of water because I have a water number. So on and so forth. So,
well, you're actually going into a 1-year cycle. You know that, right?
I didn't know that, but 1 meaning new beginnings.
Right, new beginnings. So pay attention to your circulation, your heart, and your eyes this year, specifically, and matters of the heart. If people around you are trying to mess with your heart, pay attention to that. Don't let that happen, especially. One, because if you're going from birthday to birthday, you're actually going into your 1 cycle as your birthday come. Although, because you're born at the last month of the year, right. So you might have been resonating on a 1 energy, but you're officially going into a 1 energy. So every time next year come in, you always have the duality of 2 energies. You're not just on 1 energy anymore.
Right.
Because you're born at the last month. You know, so
for 1 energy and the number 9 energy.
And going into the next energy, because if you think about it, so if 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 you're born 12 plus 2 plus 20, and you're doing the 2021, that equals 2035. Think about it. So 2 plus 3 plus 5 is a 1 year cycle. So you've been in the 9 and the 1, and now you're going into the 1 and the master number 11 going into 2. You're going into an expansion and growing cycle right now. So whatever you put your mind to, with all your businesses and all that, be willing to expand and grow, because 11 is the master number of fame and fortune. But go into your meditation and manifest out of your meditation. Write down your ideas, whatever ideas put. If it's good for you, your family, and your legacy, do it. Don't second guess it.
Right.
Don't second guess it. You know those twos can be second guessing. Don't do it in the number 11 year coming up. You want to just go, especially if it's good for you. As long as it's not just corruptive and destructive to you, do it.
Right. Great. Thank you so much for that, Brother King Simon. So now, coming to our conclusion, what is one advice that you would give to the people, holistically speaking?
Everybody know I like to stay focused. I like to say stay focused, stay healthy, keep it simple and stupid. What I mean, that's the KISS theory. Keep it simple, soldier. Keep it simple, sister. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I love about Kaba Hayawata. He makes it so simple that young people can understand.
Yes.
And that's what we need to do. Make it so simple that young people, and I believe I teach numbers that makes people understand whether they pursue it or not. I keep it simple. I keep it simple, soldier, simple, stupid, simple. That's an old theory. And remember, it's all about learning to improvise, learning to adapt in this cycle and move. You know, always. That's the old Marine saying. You know, I've never been in the Marine. My father was a Marine. My son was a Marine. But it's all about adapting, improvising, and get over and make it happen. Do it. You know, make it happen. You know, don't second guess it. Especially when it comes to your spirit, because the spirit realm, as much as people like to call things pseudo, you got to understand we have intuition. We have a gut feeling. They use it in the military. They use it in science. Nikola Tesla, who was one of the greatest scientists for European, used it. George Washington Carver, one of the other greatest botanists and people that was into the plants and all that, he dreamt about it. He listened to the plants and was able to produce things. Pay attention to that feeling that's leading you to be your highest and wisest family. Please do that.
Man, Brother King Simon, shukran. I can't thank you enough for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on this podcast here tonight. And I personally want to give you your flowers while you can still smell them. Thank you for all that you've done, not just for me, but for the community, for more than a decade, again, spreading knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, all that you know, being in different pockets of organizations and people. You have done wonders for people, for families, and
don't do it.
Bringing people together. You have an art and a science of bringing people together, and not only of bringing people together, but making people have fun and being around each other, which you know we don't do often. So you know, I'm kind of saddened that you're not doing physical events anymore. It's more online. Because
I'm gonna be doing it in Georgia. Yeah, I got space out here. I got 3 venues already locked in, ready to tap in Georgia. So I'm gonna bring y'all out there from the retreat so y'all can do some breathing in the mountains and in the Georgia area. Y'all need to breathe out of them cities. That's what I'm telling you now. Y'all need to breathe.
So that means I got to book a plane ticket to the A.
Hey, or a bus ticket, because it's like $60 on the Chinese bus, son. I mean, hey, look, I ain't got no.
Yeah, I travel with my books, so anywhere I go, my books go with me. You know, I'm a mobile library.
I understand. Yo, I got a 1 bag that I carry books. Dr. Khalid used to do that too. Bring boxes of books, or he'll bring a bag of nothing but books, and that's how I learned to travel. I have to travel with my books. I have to travel.
Yes, yes. On a serious note, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you've done and all that you are about to do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide, protect you and your family, and see that you continue to reach higher heights.
Yeah, give your family all the love, man. Your pops, of course, your young man, and all the ones, just throw that energy out there to them, man. You know how it is, brother. I know what's going on. Just stay focused and everything will happen in its right time, bro. That's the good thing, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yes, I know you're busy. You got another interview to prepare for. Thank you.
Please send people to my YouTube channel. That's King Simon Presents on YouTube, or the Numerovation Nation, or the Ministry of Numerovation, the Ministry of Numerovation. But let's go to King Simon Presents on YouTube. I got Nepal. She's a metaphysics Hebrew coming on. Nepal Shaddai. I got her coming on, speaking about religion or real legions. We got to pay attention to the metaphysics of that, the duality of religion and what's going on in this world. So she's going to be.
And where can people find you on social media, beloved?
King Simon Productions, or King Simon Prod on Twitter, King Simon on Facebook, King Simon Production. Google me. You can find me. King Simon Productions come up. Just Google King Simon Production. Everything comes up on Google now. So it is what it is. That's what I love about Dr. Africo. He said, King, all you have to do is just Google now, King. Find information, but he loved his books. Stop playing. He liked to verify.
We have to be a lover of books. We must be a lover of books. We must be a lover of education. We must be a lover of science and mathematics, right? Because we are so far attached from these sciences and from these subjects. And I meant to ask you, but I know we can go all night. Speaking of,
I got a few more minutes. What you want to ask?
Speaking on numerology and astrology, why is still, since you've been doing it over a decade, still many people are so far attached, and we've lost the science and the know-how of numerology, astrology, astronomy, physics, these special sciences that our ancestors was masters of. How come, and since we are of our ancestors, why don't we now have a liking or a connection to these high sciences?
Well, again, now that we've come into the age, this age that we're into now, which we're tipping the age of Aquarius. So that age of Aquarius is the pouring, although it's an air sign, it's pouring forth water, and the water is a vibration of the happy. It's called the happy vibration in Kemet. It's a pouring of water, which water represents wisdom. And wisdom is coming through the people now. It's coming through the children. People are gravitating to this type of science. That's why Lloyd Strayhorn, all of them was going through all that religious Piscean battle back in the day, because we was in a Piscean age, which was more religious and all that kind of stuff, dealing with that type of stuff, suffering and all that stuff. This is about the Aquarian age, which deals with technology, but higher knowledge, people gravitating through this new age. And it's not new age in the sense, it's only people call it new age because they seen it coming in, but these ages come about every 2100 years. Remember, there's a procession of that 2100 years out of a 26,000 year procession. You know what I'm saying? So more than likely, our ancestors was able to date in certain things. In the Asiatic calendar right now, we would be 15,107 years. We would be in the 15,107th year in the Asiatic calendar.
You talking about the Chaldean?
Not the Chaldean. I'm talking about the Asiatic calendar from the Moorish paradigm and the Moorish studies. So it would not be 2022 or 2021. It would be 15,107. 15,107. This is the year that they counted. Remember, Gregorian and Justine and all these, they changed the calendar, and that's when they removed the Moors and their history, when we was following an Asiatic calendar or an Aboriginal calendar, an original calendar that come out of Africa and the Mexim and all that. That's what I had to do a session for a brother that was into the Moorish science. I did it with that calendar. So I can touch on that calendar also, especially when numbers are presented. Remember, Ethiopian calendar right now would be 2013 right now, paying attention to the Ethiopian calendar. So you got to know the different calendar systems, but from that most older calendar, from the Moorish paradigm and the whole change that happened, that 15,107, we would be at we're in the year 15,107 now. Powerful. Wow. And it adds up to a number 5 when you add it all across. Crazy. And we're in 2021, which is a number 5 year. Crazy. So, I'm on it, man. I'm on it because I'm constantly studying. I even got a book on mapping calendars because I wanted to study the whole history of what they did with Rome and Gregorian and the Justine and the Augustus and what they all did. And the Europeans messed up a lot. As Khalid used to talk about that in FOI class back in the day too. So,
man, brother, I can speak to you all day. Let me let you go.
Yeah, please. My phone is dying, so I got to make sure I get this charged up for this next adventure I'm doing.
Last words, brother.
My brother, love you, man. You be safe out there, all right?
I love you too. All right, fam. So I leave you as I greet you. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, shalom, hotep, Islam, alafia, peace.
Peace.